Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a Q&A. It's going to be a nice chatty video, so I have some tea here. Really excited to get into these questions. I like to do these every few months and answer any questions that you guys have so you feel really caught up. And the last one I did was back in the spring. So I am very excited to get into your questions. I asked you guys over on my Instagram stories and you sent in some really great questions. And make sure you are following me on Instagram. That's where I always get questions for these videos, and I share lots of other things over there as well, so I'll have that linked for you guys down below. Quickly before we get into the questions, I want to say a big thank you to Native for working with me on this video. You guys probably know they are my absolute favorite deodorant brand. This is the only deodorant that I've been wearing for the past 2 years. I love the formulation of this. It is aluminium free, paraben free. They're also vegan and cruelty free. So the formulation of this is really great. It's also made with simple and familiar ingredients such as coconut oil and shea butter. Another reason I love it is the scent. My favorite, as some of you guys probably know, is the coconut and vanilla. This smells so nice and warming and fresh and quite tropical, and the scent is very long lasting as well, so you get little whiffs of this throughout the day. It's so nice. A few other scents I really like are the sweet peach and nectar. This has a nice fresh, uplifting, citrusy feel to it. Really beautiful as well. And then I also love the midnight jasmine and sage. This has a bit more of a unisex kind of androgynous feel to it. Very fresh and beautiful as well. And they're always coming out with new seasonal scents as well, which is really fun. And they do also offer all of their deodorants in a plastic-free version, so you get the same exact formula but just in a more eco-friendly packaging. The brand also has some other great products like toothpaste and body wash, and last year they donated over $2 million to Hope and Comfort, which is a nonprofit organization that helps deliver health and confidence to those in need. So they're just a great brand overall, and for my audience they've offered a special code, so you can use the link down below in the description box and the code AnnieJ6. So normally 3 deodorants are $36, but again with my link and the code you will get them for $24, so that is 33% off. I will make sure to have all of this information down below for you guys in the description box, along with my favorite scents as well. Okay, so let's get into the questions. Okay, the first question is, did the relationship between you and Mo change since the wedding? This is actually something that was asked quite a few times since I think we just got married. I would say since we were already living together, and we've been together for 5 years at this point, not that much has changed. We are still doing the same things, we have the same kind of routines, day-to-day life hasn't changed that much. But I guess the thing that really has changed is that we both now wear wedding bands or wedding rings, and that's really fun because that's something that you would wear every time you get dressed up, you go out. Now when I'm talking to Mo and he's using his hands, I see that he's wearing the wedding band, and that's of course really fun and quite special. So that's the only thing that's really changed, is that we're now both wearing wedding rings, and I think that is very special. So yeah, but nothing else has really changed that much. On this topic as well, I did see a question that asked if I'm going to be changing my name. I actually really like my name, AnnieJaffrey, so I don't want to change it completely, but I do want our future kids to have that we don't have a completely different name. So I will be hyphenating my name, so it will be AnnieJaffrey Al-Smadi eventually. We haven't done that yet, but we are in the process. The next question is, how do you stay consistent with workouts or get back into it if you've taken some time off? What works for me is just really tuning in and listening to my body and asking myself what feels good. What do you want? And really trusting my body. And that can vary a lot depending on, what phase of my life I'm in. For me, I've learned that rigidity and being super, I have to do this no matter what, that kind of mentality just doesn't really work for my body in terms of if I'm, wanting to stick to a certain exercise routine or a certain way of eating or, doing certain habits and routines during the day in order for it to get me to a certain place physically or mentally, and the goal is to feel good. But sometimes if I'm doing all those things because I'm thinking that by doing those things, I'm gonna get that positive result. But if I'm just not getting that positive result, but I'm still putting myself through those things, there's like a disconnect there, right? I have to recenter, refocus myself, and understand that at some periods of my life, I just need different things, and that is okay. The goal is obviously to feel good and to feel happy and confident and healthy and energetic in your body, and there are many ways to get there. It's not just a cookie cutter, you've got to exercise every single day and eat this kind of food and do those kinds of things. Because if you're trying to do that, but you've gone through a big life change, maybe you're a new mom, or you just created a new business, which is what we've been doing, or you're just going through like a big move or a big life change, and maybe you just don't have the mental space and the capacity to actually do all those things, that can just be causing you more inflammation and more stress in your life. Whereas sometimes it's so much more important to focus on sleep and maybe gentler forms of working out like walking or Pilates or yoga, or indulging a little bit more in foods and trying different things, and not putting yourself in a box or having lots of restrictions. And again, if you think about the goal being to feel really good and happy and energetic and comfortable in your body, those things, even though they might be considered not the right things, those things can actually help you to feel that way. That's not to say that I don't love routines and healthy food and exercise and pushing myself. You guys know I love that as well, but what I've really learned is the importance of balance, tuning in, listening to my body, and doing what's right for me, not for my ego or just to follow what the trend is or what someone else is doing, and just being really honest and checking in with yourself, like seeing when do you need a break, or when do you need to kind of amp it up a little bit and push yourself a little bit more and challenge yourself. Just really being honest with yourself, finding time to be still and quiet so that you can hear your inner voice and that inner guidance. And when you come from that place, I think motivation and feeling inspired to do something is a lot easier and more effortless, and not something that you have to push or force yourself to do, because you know that the end goal of whatever it is that you're doing is to feel great. That is what should be motivating you and inspiring you, along with finding stillness so that you can connect and tune in to your inner voice. Something else that I think is very powerful is to journal and write and plan out your day and really put down onto paper the kind of life that you want, that you would feel that would make you feel really good in your body if you did these things, and then work them into your day, into your routine, because sometimes it's just a matter of sticking to the things that you should be doing, and it's very easy to get distracted, to get sidetracked. And I think if you have a plan, or if you have like ideal way that you would want your day to go, it doesn't mean that you have to hit it perfectly every single day, but just having something that you can kind of refer to, be your kind of North Star, so that you can look back on that and structure your time and your day so that you can stay consistent with the things that you want to do and the things that are going to make you feel really great. The next question is, did it take you a long time to feel confident in your body? I love this question because I feel like it's something that is always a work in progress. It's so easy to compare ourselves to other people, especially now with our phones and social media and stuff. It's so easy to just like nitpick at ourselves and compare ourselves. But I definitely think with age, I've gotten so much more confident with myself and all the little things that I don't necessarily love about myself. I try to share those things openly now because I feel like at the end of the day, life goes on. There's so much more to life than just the aesthetic and what you look like and what you think people think you look like. Life is about experiences and relationships and building something that you're passionate about, and family and amazing food. And on top of all of that, just having your health and being really grateful for that, that you can breathe, that you can walk, that you can see, that you have a body. Like, forget about what it looks like. Of course, it's so important to take care of it and treat it really well and feed it well. make sure that you're getting in movement and sleep and sunshine and all of that good stuff, but focusing more on the feeling in your body rather than just like the outside of it. I think that is a huge shift. And I love now as well that people are just being so much more open about their little insecurities, their little flaws, and just sharing that, because once you just put it out there and you just say what it is that you might not be that confident with, it's a crazy thing where that fear and that kind of, how do you say, like insecurity, it just melts away and it just gets so much less. I think there's a huge, powerful thing that comes with sharing and with opening up, because you make people feel like, you know, if you're confident with yourself and all of your little things, I feel like that makes people more confident in themselves, and it allows those people to feel that they can be themselves fully as well. And of course, anything that you feel like you really want to change that is changeable and that is safe, I'm all for that. Like, I'm not going to judge anyone to do anything that they want with their bodies, but of course, always being safe, keeping health in mind, and also doing it for the right reasons, never for any other person, any other situation, but really if it's something for you. And then all the other things that you just cannot change, we all have them. Just learning to love them and know that we all have little things that we're not crazy about, and that's okay, that's part of life. The next question is, how do you motivate yourself when you feel like procrastinating or lazy? It kind of depends. If I really, again, feel like I need some time to relax, I will totally let myself do that. Sometimes you just need to veg out, you know, disconnect for a little bit so that you can recenter yourself, and I think that's completely fine. But if it's something that I know I should be doing, and it's not a question of me feeling like I need a rest day or anything like that, I focus on how I'm gonna feel after I'm done, and I let that feeling motivate me. And sometimes it's just about doing a very small thing. So if it's, for example, to start working on your homework or on a project or anything that you have to do for work, just opening up your laptop and saying, I'm gonna write for 5 minutes, or I'm gonna write one sentence, one paragraph, one word, and then you'll be surprised. You will get into the momentum and into the flow of things, and you'll probably write a lot more. If it's something like working out, you can say, I'm just gonna do 5 minutes, or I'm just gonna go out for like a 10-minute walk. You'll probably get there and you'll feel like you wanna do a little bit more because you start feeling how good it feels, and that will probably just motivate you to complete whatever thing that you had set for yourself. When it comes to eating healthy, you could just say like, I'm gonna make sure that I have a handful of vegetables or some greens with my meal. So it's not necessarily about changing your whole diet or your whole, you know, week of eating, but just maybe starting with some greens with your dinner, or maybe doing like a healthy breakfast and then slowly adding up so that it doesn't feel overwhelming. The next question is, hi Annie, do you plan to go on another vacation this year? We were actually just talking about this, and we would love to go somewhere in November for Mo's birthday, but we're still not sure where. And then definitely going home for Christmas to my mom's house in Switzerland and seeing all my family there, my siblings. I cannot wait. That's like a very traditional thing that we do every year. But maybe before that, we will have like a week or two somewhere nice and warm, because we need sunshine. We need warmth. The next question is, how do you keep your home space consistently clean? Love you too. I think it's easier to have a cleaner home if you just have less stuff in general. And the stuff that you do have, if you have a space for it that you're happy with it being in, so if it's like camera equipment, books, kitchen things, like makeup, whatever things that you do have, having a specific and designated spot for those things and keeping them there, that is of course really helpful. And also when I'm going around the apartment, if I'm going from one room to the other and I see that there's something there that shouldn't be there, I try to take it with me and just try to keep things in their spots, in their place. But in general, we really love a more minimal and less cluttered feel to our homes, so that it feels calm and balanced and has a nice energy to it, and just feels more like a sanctuary and a relaxing kind of like spa, rather than a busy, cluttered, overly very like busy place. I feel like for me, our home is a place where we want to relax, especially like our living room, our kitchen area. Of course, our office can sometimes get a little bit messy and overwhelming because it's our office and there's a lot of things going on, like a lot of samples coming through, packaging, all that. And then going through your stuff a few times per year and really asking yourself, like, am I using this? Is it sparking joy? But does it serve me in some way, or is it just like dead, heavy energy that is not needed? The next question is updates on your Botox, veneers, and other cosmetic procedures, please. I don't have veneers. I did do Invisalign though a couple of years ago. I have a few videos on that, but my teeth are my own. Botox I did the last time in February. I just do this little part here between my brows. It's called the glabella lines. It is something that I like to do because I do find that I frown quite a bit when I'm on the computer screen. And of course, this is the line here that makes you look kind of like angry. So I just like to kind of take care of this so that the line doesn't settle and get really deep. Last time I touched up my lips was also back in February. So that's been like 6 months now. Other than that, I have not done anything else. And if I do, I will always, of course, share with you guys because I think it is important to talk about these things. I'm never wanting to promote anything or to say like people should be doing this or that. Never at all. I think it's such a personal decision, but I do want to inform you guys like if I look different or if I've done something different so that you guys know what it is so that you're not confused. But yeah, that is all that I've done. I see lots of questions about babies and kids. I think it's of course because we just got married and you guys know that that's something that I've always wanted, and I'm just going to keep it at that. I am not going to go so much into it, but it is something that I'm very much looking forward to, and when that moment happens and that part of our life starts, I will definitely share more about it with you guys and take you on that journey with me because it's something that I've always been so excited about. The next question is, which exercise form do you love the most? This does vary from time to time, but right now I'm really loving walking. I walk every morning. I try to aim for about an hour to an hour and a half walk per day. I sometimes split it up into 2 walks. Sometimes I will do it all together, and that's around like 10,000 steps a day approximately. That's been my favorite for the last few months. I love how gentle and low impact it is. With that said, I also love using weights in my workout. I love Sammy Clark's IGTV workouts. Those are really great. When I used to go to the gym before COVID, I really loved body pump classes, and that is a weightlifting class as well. Although I haven't really done that for the past few months, but I'm sure I'll get back into it soon. Just right now, I've really been into the walking. So yeah, that's my favorite. And also, of course, Pilates, yoga. I do like to switch it up and just do what my body is craving that day. The next question is, you mentioned triplet siblings. How many siblings total do you have? So both my parents are remarried, but from my parents' marriage, there's me, of course, my older brother, and my younger brother. And then my mom has triplets, 2 girls and a boy, and my dad has 2 daughters. So altogether, we are 8, which is crazy. But I love it. I love having siblings. I think it's such a nice thing, and I hope that one day our kids will have lots of siblings as well. The next question is, how are you doing since your explant? Do you regret? No, I don't regret it at all. I'm so happy that I went through with it. I'm even happy that I did the implants from the beginning because it taught me so much about myself, my body, life. It was really such a good learning experience for me, even though it wasn't easy and it was a lot on my body and a lot to go through. But it really did leave me with such a sense of peace and calm and happiness and gratitude for my body. And now I'm so happy with my girls. Sometimes I can't even believe that I even did that I went through with that, because I would never do that again. Like, if I look at myself, even though I'm not perfect over there, I'm so happy that I did do the explant and that I have my body back. You know, there's no better feeling than feeling free and healthy and movable and just one with your body. It's something that I'm so grateful for every single day. With that said, I know that there are so many women, I have friends who have implants and are so happy with them and who feel like they really complete them as a woman, as a person, that they make them feel so much more confident and amazing in their body. And that's amazing too. It's so important, again, to just listen to your body and do what you think is best for you. But for me personally, it was such a good decision to take them out. I'm so happy that I listened to my body. Even though it was a lot to go through mentally and physically, I'm really happy that I did it, and I'm more grateful than ever now for my little girls. Next question is, how do you prioritize time for self-care when life is hectic? Yes, I can totally relate to this. For me, I think it's about having a nice morning routine, an evening routine, something that you know is consistent and that you can rely on. It doesn't have to be a super long thing, but those are like the two kind of pillars in your day. That's gonna set you up really well for the day or help you to relax at night. And then, you know, whatever happens during the day, it's gonna be busy, but you know you can look forward to your evening routine, and then finding little like pockets of peace during the day that you can take for maybe 5 minutes after a call, before a meeting, when you're driving, if you're walking to the supermarket or anything like that. Just finding those little moments where you can take a moment and just breathe. Refocus yourself, recenter yourself. I think that's really valuable as well, and that will help to kind of calm your nervous system during the day. When you get to the end of the day, you don't feel like super overwhelmed and completely out of balance, which can happen. Of course, we're all human and life can be really crazy sometimes. So then really focusing on just prioritizing your self-care, because you know that it's going to make you feel good. It's going to make you a better mother, wife, business person, whatever it is that you are doing throughout the day. Prioritizing self-care will bring you back so much in all of those tasks the next day. So remembering that, I have to remind myself of that too. I'm definitely not perfect with that, but I do always try to think about how I'm going to feel when it's done, even if it's kind of like, oh, I have to do this thing, I have to push myself a little bit, but then it is always a nice reward at the end. So I think focusing on that. And then a little morning and evening routine can go a very long way. Okay, next question is, when you feel down, what are the 3 things you do? I want to end on this question because I think it's something that we can all kind of relate to. I would also love to know what your 3 things are. You can share with me down below in the comments. But one of the things that comes to mind is to take some time and just be with myself. That usually means removing myself from my environment. So if I'm home and I'm feeling down about whatever thing, just getting out, going for a walk, either in the park, going to the city, going to the grocery store, just getting out of my environment and focusing on something else, that can be really helpful, because sometimes I feel like we just kind of sit in our own brain and we need to see different things, have a new experience, and often after that we can see the experience in a new light. Another thing I find very therapeutic is to speak to somebody, whether that is a friend, family member. Sometimes it is about the actual thing that I'm going through, because I feel like it can be very helpful to get someone's advice that you genuinely trust, and they can put a lot of things into perspective for you that you might not be able to see yourself. And sometimes it's also just about talking about somebody else and focusing on what's going on in their life, just trying to help somebody else. That can actually be very helpful to you at the end of the day as well. And then lastly, I would say if I'm not so sure on why I'm sad, like really spending some time with myself, either journaling, again, going for a walk, maybe just thinking about it, and then trying to find a solution. Like, what is it that I can actually do about this thing that is bothering me, so that there's a way out? You know, it's not just about sitting in there and kind of like cooking in your own negativity and like your own problem. Finding a solution and then acting on that and seeing like, okay, how can I work this kind of solution into my daily routine, or what do I need to do? Like, how can I actually implement this in my life? That can be very helpful as well. And then of course, like little bonus thing, self-care, and that can really vary from person to person, but for me, I like doing things like little treatments, going for a massage, getting a facial, although for me, a facial is also more of like a thing I need for my skin. But you know, taking care of myself, maybe making myself something really healthy, like a nice nourishing meal. And sometimes that also means maybe like making myself some cookies. For you, it might be like painting or doing something artistic or dance. I don't know, anything that you enjoy, like finding time for those things and truly making them part of your day. That always lifts my mood as well. And I think like sitting on the couch with a good show, show with some tea and like something nice, like a cookie or something, for me that always makes me feel so good. And it's just like a place of comfort and to reset after a long day, or cuddling up with a good book or with a good YouTube video, and just finding that time to reset, recenter, and to prepare yourself for a good night's sleep, because sleep is something that I think fixes a lot of things. So yeah, I would say those are some of the things that I like to do. Again, let me know down below what some of your things are. So those are all the questions I'm gonna answer today. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and thank you so much to everyone who submitted your questions. Even if I didn't get to your question today, I will make a note of some of these and include them in upcoming vlogs, things I could show you, things you had questions about, so I will make note of those. I hope that you're all having a beautiful day, and I will see you in my next one. Mwah. Bye guys.